So it is currently 11 o'clock on Sunday night, and this is due tomorrow morning, so don't judge me, Bill. I'm already doing that enough, so. Anyways, today's Easter Sunday, which means I've been at church literally all day, from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m., so that's good. If you're wondering why, it's because I serve all day. I help direct our kids ministry with my awesome, beautiful girlfriend, who is our kids' pastor. So yeah, I do a lot of stuff for our kids' ministry. I write the skits that we do every week. Sometimes I act in them. I do a little bit of worship leading as well, so just a little bit of everything. And that's just on a Sunday. So the rest of the week I'm going to school, and then I also intern with our media director for the church, and we work on a lot of photos and videos and promotional content for the church. Most recently we worked on a music video that we shot for Easter, which is this right here.
Alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin, lost without hope, no place to begin. Your love made a way to let mercy come in. When death was arrested and my life began. Oh, your grace, so free.
So yeah, my life's really busy, and that's the excuse I have for not starting these projects until the night before they're due, but it's a good kind of busy, you know, the kind of busy that keeps me out of trouble, I guess. So, I don't know, it all just works very well in my life right now because I have school and I'm learning how to do all the things that I want to do in my film career, and then I get to apply a lot of them with the work that I do at the church. Like writing every week on a deadline is getting me great experience for, you know, writing in general in the future, and you know, I'm shooting a lot of productions and stuff like that, so it all just works very fluid together, and I feel really like at home in the work that I'm doing right now, both at school and at church. But you know, it wasn't always like that for me. I grew up in 3 different states, and I moved around a lot when I was a kid. I was born in Florida, and then I moved to Georgia when I was 7, and then I moved to Ohio when I was 13, so I never really had, like, you know, a strong sense of home, at least where I felt at home. And as a kid growing up, that's kind of the most important thing, is that you find kind of your identity and your place in the world. And if you've ever moved around, you know that that's really hard to do when you're constantly changing places and meeting new people and starting new lives. So in particular, this move here to Arizona, which happened last year, was probably the hardest time for me personally in my life, you know, because at 18 years old I had a job. I worked for Apple. I was in school at Xavier University, and I had a girlfriend at the time, and I felt a strong call to come to Phoenix, Arizona, and it was a tough choice, but it meant that I had to leave everything that kind of identified me as who I was behind, and those things would forever remain in Cincinnati while I would move here and move on. And the first couple months were rough. I felt incredibly out of place, and I felt almost like I had lost myself, and like I didn't know who I even was anymore. And thankfully I met my girlfriend now, Kaylee, who, you know, kind of helped me rediscover who I was here in Arizona. And over the course of this past year, she's kind of helped me find myself again here. And you know, she's helped me discover talents that I didn't even know I had, and she's introduced me to friends that I will have for, you know, a long time. And her friendship alone has brought me a lot of joy and happiness, and I'm so grateful for what she's done in my life. But I didn't think it was gonna turn out this way when I moved here. and the first couple months here were hard, but I look back on that time now and I wish I could have told myself then it's worth it, because the way my life is now, I would go through the first couple months here 100 times over. And I think if I had a story or a message or anything of importance to tell the world, it would be that the story is not over. And even though there's so many times in life where we feel like it is, where we feel like we can't see the next step in front of us, or we can't see where the path is taking us, as long as there's road in front of you, you're going somewhere. And there's still life to be lived, and there's still journeys to be had. And even in the toughest moments, it's important to remember that, because that's what we live for, is a hope for a better future. And it's out there. Trust me. It just takes a little bit of faith.